Ethla speaks through you. You have her in your soul. Reach beyond the bronze, whatever that means. And Jill can feel that surge of power.
Oh, fuck yes.
Reach beyond the bronze?
Reach beyond the bronze.
BRONZE?
Yeah, the bronze.
Interesting.
That sure is funny information right there.
That's interesting.
Bardwin's like, I don't know what it means, but it works.
Giuliana, like, jerks back from that, like, what?
And as you are looking at Wynne, the woman on the table opens her eye and gasps.
Oh, okay. Deep breaths.
Okay, so let me describe this woman again for our listeners. This is a middle-aged looking Vidoni woman, clearly taken some horrific injuries to basically the entire left side of her body. And she reaches up with her right hand and kind of feels around her left side. And on her left side, her residual limb like moves around as she's trying to feel something. And then she looks around in horror and says, "What happened? Where am I? Who are you? What's going on?"
It's okay. My name is Giuliana. You're in the Hospital of the Clinging in Volcaris. There was a shipwreck. You've been dead for 9 days.
But you're alive now.
What?
You've been dead for 9 days.
But I was just... I just...
You just...
Hold on.
At her panic, Varas, who is standing there in the room with you, he comes over and since he's a lot closer to her age, and he says, "Ma'am, please breathe."
Can you tell us your name?
She sees Varas and she seems to calm down a bit, and she says, Lars. My name is Lars. Lars Gratis. What happened to my arm and leg?" And she feels around her face and feels that her skull is whole again, but there's no eye in the socket. And my eye.
There was a shipwreck. There were lots of shipwrecks about 9 days ago. A lot of ships went down. There were only 8 bodies they could recover, and you are one of them. Unless your crew is in this room, then you may be the only survivor of your vessel, if survivor counts.
Varas says, Lars, what is the last thing you remember? And Lars blinks her remaining right eye and says, "I was on my airship, and I was making a delivery to my buddy Tertius before he set off, because he needed supplies. And then everything goes white, and I'm here."
But your ship doesn't have a helm.
What? Yes, it does. It's a wheel. It's at the stern.
I'm sorry, it's a spelljammer. It doesn't have a spelljammer helm.
Why does my ship... What? What's the matter?
I don't know why any of the ships went down, but at least one of them was because that light you described knocked out the pilot at a spelljammer.
She blinks and says, "Did that happen to Tertius? Because I was delivering to his hunter ship before he was going out on patrol around the sphere."
I'm sorry, I don't know. We're still working on getting a manifest of getting a list of all the ships that went down.
Were they attacking his ship? Who were we attacked? You said it was a white light.
It affected every ship that was in the sky at the time.
Well, not necessarily every ship that was in the sky.
In that wedge, basically.
When it went out, it seemed everything that was caught up in its beam maybe seems like it went down, but we're still trying to figure it out.
She leans her head back. She's been getting a bit worked up and was trying to start sitting up. And Varas, who has draped a blanket over her, otherwise naked body, says, "Ma'am, please, lie back. We've got some stretchers coming down. We'll take you up to a hospital bed." And she kind of closes her eye and leans her head back, and he places his arm on the cold stone bench for her to rest her head on, and he says, "You need to sleep. You've been through a lot."
It's going to be about 4 days until your body feels less exhausted.
As this is happening, Wynn takes a step back, kind of reaches into her bag to pull out the sending stone she has to Blue, and quietly does a quick sending through it. Do you have any magic eyes, arms, or legs to replace those lost? If so, could you deliver them to the Hospital of Clinging? I'll pay.
After a moment, you hear the words in your mind. "Of course we do. They're not expensive. I'll send an order form to my forewoman at the warehouse, and she'll arrange everything, and I'll bill you."
Wynn kind of smiles a bit, and then she glances that way. "And we'll have prosthetics for you available shortly, hopefully by the end of the day. But I know that will take some time and therapy to get used to."
Jill looks at her surprised. We will?
Wynn casually to Jill kind of gestures to the sending stone in her hand and then drops it back into her bag.
Jill looks at it, comprehends, and then gives her a very grateful smile.
Lars looks at you when you say that and says, "Right. Prosthetics. And she looks at her left arm's residual limb and says, I'm so tired." And
Go
at
rest.
that point, an orderly comes in and Varas, loads her up onto a stretcher. If you have any last things you want to say to her before she leaves, now's the time.
Wynn mostly just wishes her a good sleep.
Okay.
Not as ominous as that, though, because it kind of like, have a good sleep. No, but just a good sleep.
Rest well.
Rest well.
Rest well and dream of large women.
That's the dream.
Varas goes upstairs with the orderlies, and like a minute later comes back to just witness what you will do next there in that room.
I don't know why it felt like it was harder today than yesterday. Which is weird, right? Because the second time was easier.
Well, it's probably a mix of things, isn't it? Like, a day of doing all this stuff and wearing out your body is just going to naturally wear on you and make you more tired. But also there's just the fact that, from what I know of this magic, it requires them to want to come back, and some of them perhaps don't necessarily, like, dying took them to a place where they don't necessarily even think about coming back, so it's more of a having to directly reach them.
Yeah, maybe it was just the resistance in that capacity. Okay. And she is... I think she stalls a little before she takes in a deep breath and walks over to the pilot's body. Okay. You got the diamond ready?
I've got the diamond ready. She pulls it out, twirls it, and then holds it out ready for Jill.
Thanks.
So, Juliana, you have rattled the weave, you've disturbed it in this area, so your second casting is, like yesterday, a little bit easier, flows a little bit more smoothly, and you don't have any trouble drawing this particular person back. The man, who appears to be a middle-aged Verdoni man, he shivers and shakes and a tremor runs through his body, and then he too takes a breath and his eyes open.
Flavius, come back.
He looks around, sees you two, and kind of stammers and says, "Oh, where am I? What happened?"
Goddess, you think I'd be better prepped for this? Hi, you're in the Hospital of the Clinging. You were in an accident. There was a shipwreck, and it's been 9 days. And you were dead, and now you're not. Hi.
I was dead, but how am I alive?
I think the magic is still fading from Jill. I think we established when she rezzed that she did do definitely kind of a charge up glow.
This is true. You had ghibli hair, you had the glowing freckles, the glowing eyes. And in that case, he would say, Did you bring me back?
She did.
She gives an awkward wave. Nice to meet you. I'm Juliana. Hi.
He struggles to sit up under the blanket, which I'm presuming you've draped over him.
Absolutely.
He actually sort of manages to get to a sitting position, and he says, Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Why are you... I mean, where are you from?
Storm space?
Oh, you're an off-worlder. Okay. Please,
Yeah.
please pardon
Yeah,
my
that's why
manners.
I'm not like about like a head and shoulders taller and with pointy ears. Yeah.
He laughs at that a bit and then coughs. Well, Miss Juliana, thank you very much for your assistance. And he places his hand over his chest in the form of salute that you've seen other guards do.
You're taking this a lot better than some of the others have.
Oh, he says, there are others, and then looks around and sees just corpses on the tables, and he's like, oh, I see.
Right.
Others.
There are...
Are these all from my ship?
No.
No. There were... How many shipwrecks were there, Anna? Did we get a number on that?
Oh, it was either 9 or 11. There were a lot of them.
There were around 10 shipwrecks that day. Anybody that's not in this room or was not recently in this room, you're number 4. They didn't make it. I'm sorry.
Oh wow. He gets a look of it's the kind of look that a person would get when inconvenienced something like a fox ate all my neighbor's chickens. Oh wow, that's not great.
You're really taking this well. Juliana looks at her notes. Oh, a guard you're a pilot on a prisoner barge, right?
That's right. I was the pilot. I was a prisoner myself.
Oh.
Really?
I was. We had, our escort with guns trained on us.
That's not great. Also guns, damn.
Yeah. Well,
gun. It still sounds so strange.
Listen. And I think she's going to get up close to him. Listen, this is important, and I know you're tired, and I need you to do something for me.
What's that?
What cantrips do you know?
I know a few basic sorcerer cantrips.
Just can you cast one of them?
Sure. And I'm just gonna say Ray of Frost. And he points his finger at the wall and utters what you know is a casting incantation. And then he leans forward and clutches his head. He says, "Oh, fuck, gods."
Okay, don't do that anymore then.
What's wrong with me? The fuck is that? Tell me what.
Well, it's developing, and this might just be helm sickness. We're looking into it, but you might be cut off from your magic.
You say helm sickness. What happened? All I remember... So I was on the barge, and we were headed for the mines on Calandia. Then there was a bright light, and I woke up here. What happened?
What kind of ship were you on, out of curiosity?
I mean, it was a converted... It was just a converted hunter. I think it was used by fishermen before me.
Well, we don't know. Wynn, you wanna... Can you sum this up? I need a second.
That's fine. Go rest a little bit, Jill, before we go upstairs. Basically, all the ships in the air over a certain wedge, including airships, not just spelljammers, there was that flash of light, and then they all just started collapsing. It was kind of like a shockwave through the sky. We're still sorting out what exactly happened, but those who were in the spelljammers experienced some obviously a shock kind of back into the system. We think it might have just overloaded the magic, but we don't know. We're still trying to test that and look into it.
He puts a hand on his chin
You're actually, I think, the second captain the second person who was piloting who survived, so that's why
I checked with Anna on that. He is
Yeah.
actually, the other pilot was not actually a pilot.
Okay, so the second one who survived would be Lachlan too, right?
That's true, you're right.
Yeah. It's still just trying to figure out between you and him.
He looks thoughtful and says, "What do each of the ships that got shot down have in common, then?"
That I'm not sure about, other than being... Well, there were like 9 ships that got down. She looks to Jill.
Jill kind of turned around for a second, ran her hands through her hair. There was some loud inhaling and exhaling. And then when she's asking, Jill turns around and I think it might be the type of ship. Hunters, werewolves, night wolves. We've been hearing those lately. There's been 3 hunters so far. There was a werewolf escort, and we were escorted with a night wolf, and it may have been targeting the types of ships. I don't know.
The wolf-related ships.
Yeah, all of the ones that all of the ones that are like the specific Vidoni models.
He rubs his temples and says, "Oh, I feel like... Give me 1 second.
Take your time.
Oh, my head. There are dozens of those ships all over the city at a given time. Why these ones? What was special about these ships?"
They probably... She glances to Jill. They probably knew the prince would be on one of them.
Maybe. I was thinking about that. If we might have been
have a... Did you have a night wolf?
We had one escorting us, but it might not just be us is the thing. When you know that big rock that we saw in the harbor?
Oh, that's true.
It had night wolf escorts, and
Yeah.
that thing might be important.
Yeah.
And I know who we have to talk to about it.
Ooh. Well, we can talk about that later.
But it might be... It could be something where it was just targeting the same types of ships, the same types of spelljammers in a category to create enough chaos that if they wanted to get something from one of the ships, then they could.
Makes sense.
Because there'd be so many ships around. Flavius, were there Praetorians on your ship? Praetorians? I don't know how widespread they are.
He looks at you and chuckles and says, "Oh, gods no, we weren't important enough for that. It was just normal soldiers, normal guards."
Okay. Right, and we were fine because we were the only ship that had Praetorians that could actually send up a distress signal. Okay, I should probably clarify. We were also in a ship that went down. So we
when nods and gives a thumbs up and then holds out her fist to like fist bump him.
He clumsily lift a hand and bump your knuckles, but it's clear that he doesn't have his full faculties of motion back, and he says,
"She does like 90% of it."
"Why in the name of the court would you have Praetorians aboard your ship? Were you prisoners too?" And
no.
then Varas comes down the stairs and says, "Your Highness, how's it going?" And Flavius's eyes widen, and he looks back and forth.
When points at Jill and says, "She's your prince's wife."
I'm
her servant, says Wynn, waving her fingers.
Juliana shakes her head. Please don't. Hello. I married into the royal family, apparently. It's a long story.
Flavius blinks a few times. By that point, the orderlies have come back and are loading him onto his stretcher. But he looks at you, Jill, and says, "Well, I guess that makes 2 of us who are stuck somewhere with eyes on us that we don't want to be. I might have more info for you later. Can we talk soon?"
I would love that. We should probably hook you up with our helmsman, who also got mega fucked up.
That sounds very good, Miss Juliana.
And if you want to hang with us, feel free,
And-
says Win. You're cool.
He very pointedly calls you Miss Juliana, not Your Highness.
Okay, good to meet you, Flavius. I hope he didn't do any unforgivable crimes.
If he did, we're just never
That sure
going to
would
ask.
suck, wouldn't it?
We're just never going to ask.
Yeah, let's not ask. So we've got so we just rezzed the those two folks. So we're basically ready to move into the healing portion. Jill's probably a little less nervous because this at least was hypothetically like it was yesterday.
Mhm.
I believe when we were talking when you were ushered in, you were talking about like people having to go to the front desk and get organized to check in, right?
Correct.
So I guess hypothetically we should probably proceed with like doing the same kind of thing as yesterday in terms of the order of operations of Jill's healing spells. In terms of what patient she's treating first would probably be the most like at-risk ones, the youngest ones, and the elderly, essentially. Getting the highest, the most at-risk patients first, and then going out in whatever order the like Varas and the hospital has set up.
Sounds good. Upon speaking with Faraz, he basically says he'll need about an hour to set all this up, but I'm going to say the time is negligible for the purposes of the game.
Okay. Then I guess we'll probably hang out in that same waiting room.
Yeah, in the staff room?
Yeah. Oh, and Jill will also, we don't have to play this out, she will also give Varas an update on Flavius's condition as a helmsman. It looks like he also has the same helm sickness, and then an update on what Lachlan gave her yesterday about how he still hasn't been able to cast and what his symptoms are.
Wonderful. I will make a note of that. So once you're done with that, do you the two of you go ahead with the healing?
Yes.
Okay.
Wonderful. In that case, it looks a lot like it did yesterday when the two of you went throughout the hospital, light gathered on your bodies, mostly Jill's, admittedly, because of her higher level spell slots, but still a bit on yours, Win. And notably, this time, in addition to like glowing eyes and glowing freckles and the hint of wings, and Win, if you like, I could even say your scar starts to glow.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
Like the big fuck off one on your neck.
Yeah.
You notice the air is rippling a bit as well. Like, it looks like heat waves, but it's more radiance than heat, if that makes sense. It feels like reality is rippling with the impact of how much magic is being discharged here. It doesn't look like it's going to be a problem or anything, it's just really intense, because this is only the second time any one of you, like you or anyone else here, has seen this much magic just dumped in one go. But you go through your rituals at first, and that takes the better part of half an hour, 45 minutes. And then you blast through the rest of the crowd. You do, in fact, end up mostly healing the very old and the very young, the critically wounded, and then moving to a more median age, modal age? Whatever. A more middle age.
average.
Average. Thank you. I did the two that were not the one I wanted. And finally, as you squeeze the last bit of magic out of your body, it drips out, and both of you feel utterly exhausted, more tired than you did yesterday. This is truly an experience unlike any other you've had. And now, instead of just Jill feeling like passing out, Jill, you actually do black out for a moment, and Win, you stumble and nearly fall while you're at it.
I think Jill probably knows to expect that this time and kind of tries to like, when she feels it coming on, I think she probably tries to brace herself, but does not really expect how hard she blacks out, and then just sort of plops down, and Artie's not there to catch her this time.
There is a sound of, like, light gasping as they realize that you've fallen over. And a couple of orderlies do come and scramble over and help you up, and then they take you off to the staff room to have some tea and some food and
kind of
just
revitalize.
relax. How are you two feeling right now?
Wynn is exhausted, but kind of in that way, like, after you've gone to the gym and you've really exercised, and you definitely want to collapse and rest, but also you feel a little bit like, fuck yeah, I did it.
You got some of that endorphin rush?
Yeah.
I think Jill is fucking knocked. Like, she is bleary, and maybe Wynn probably has to like get her to at least stuff a little bit of food into her mouth, and then she probably just plops over and like zonks out again. I feel like when she sleeps, she wakes up and it's probably still like bad nap like last time, where like you don't really feel rested.
Yeah. Okay, so down the hallway, you can hear a sound, and it's a little indistinct at first. The first voice you can pick out is Verasa's, and he seems to be pleading with someone. And then the other voices become more clear as they get closer to the staff room. And it's the sound of people begging. And they're saying things like, please, I just need to see her. I just need one moment with her. Please, I've been so sick. Please, we've tried everything. Please. And then Veras basically comes up to the door and is pushed in by a small crowd of people, either with wounds of their own or carrying a wounded person. And they all kind of just tumble into the staff room, making a mess and knocking the table over. And then they see you and they focus in and they say, please, princess, help me. Please, my daughter, she's so sick. Please, I haven't walked on this leg in years. Please, I haven't been able to breathe properly. And just 9 or 10 people barging into the room, and you're pretty sure you see more out in the hallway. And this happens in the space of about 30 seconds. How do you two handle this?
Wynn darts a glance to Jill, and then kind of pushes herself up with kind of dad noises like, ugh! And pushes herself up, and then lifts her hands and tries to get everybody's attention. Yeah, I'll use, like, prestidigitation to kind of create, like, sparkles over my head to try and draw attention my way. Just so I can do that thing that you do, Quiet Coyote.
Jill, meanwhile, is going to be, like, kind of stumbling to her feet. It takes her a little bit to get up, like she's really sore or out of it, and she will start to be like, I can't, I'm sorry, my magic is, I'm out.
Whenever they quiet, Wynn goes, we have done all the healing we can do today?
So, Mac, first, I've got to get you to roll.
Yes. What do you need?
There are a lot of people here in this tiny room, and they're very loud. I'm going to say, give me a straight up charisma check with disadvantage because this is a mob.
Oh, not good. 8.
Oh no.
Oh no, yeah, that was a crit fail on the lowest one.
I guess I could,
No, we burned inspo last time.
No, I wasn't going to inspo. I was thinking I could do my bardic inspiration. Maybe up it a tiny bit. At least get above 10.
You can't do barding as a reflex, can you?
It's a bonus, yeah.
Yeah, so you would have had to do that first and then try and cast it, I'm afraid.
Are we, like, in initiative, or...?
No, not an initiative or anything. It's just that...
Oh, actually, though remember, because of my bard class, my College of Eloquence, I do have my, like, Silver Tongues ability, which means whenever I make a charisma, it says charisma persuasion or charisma deception, basically a charisma check to get, like, attention or to get people to listen, I get a 10 on my roll, instead of anything below 9 or lower.
Alright.
So I'm 17.
So that's a 17. That's a lot better. So what happens is about half the people in the room turn to look at you. The other half have basically barged in and separated the two of you. So what I'm going to do is I've resolved your action. I'm now going to resolve Jilliana's action, and then we're going to go back to you, Mac.
Makes sense.
So, Jill, you said you basically tried to stammer through explaining that you don't have any more magic right now?
Yeah, that's her first go. Yeah, is essentially trying to explain that, like, I used everything. I'm not going to be able to have any more. I can't cast again till tomorrow.
But please, Princess, please, just one touch, just one look. Surely that's all it needs. Please, Princess, I'm sure you can help us. Please.
It doesn't work like that. I can moral support. I can't.
And now, Juliana, you give me a charisma check with disadvantage.
Oh, baby, that's not gonna be good. That's my charisma is a -1 modifier.
Time for double 20s. Double 20s.
There is a non-zero chance you can ace this.
That is a big fat 6.
Okay.
That was a 7 - 1.
In that case, you can barely stammer out your explanations over the sound of everyone else. They're loud, they're pushy, they have separated you from Wynn.
Oh, have they started, like, actually physically putting their hands, reaching out for her, putting their hands on her?
Well and truly.
Oh, man. Her eyes are wide. She is definitely starting to panic.
Over to Mackenzie. You have just gained the attention of about half the crowd. You can't see Jill right now. All you can see is a few people paying attention to you.
Oh, that's
What do
right.
you
She's
do?
shorter than everybody if they're Vidoni.
I am.
Exactly.
Jill's obscured.
Wynn says, "We cannot help you today. We have used all of our magic. Get back to triage. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Now I need to get to the princess."
Now that you have their attention, Wynn,
Yes.
give me a persuasion check. Just normal, no advantage or disadvantage.
Okay.
So again, a minimum 17 because
A minimum.
you're a fucking bard.
Technically, I've got expertise in that, so it's at minimum 23, actually.
Good lord.
27!
Oh my fucking god.
So, with a 27, the people who are looking at you do start to, like, droop and filter out. And because you did, in fact, get a 27, it was basically a 15 to persuade them, a 20 to persuade them easily, and then a 25 to stop them from being jerks about it.
Oh my
So-
god.
I want to note, too, that Wynn has, like, that disappointed mom voice of, you're like, starting to throw a tantrum in the grocery store, and if you don't stop now, you're never getting candy again.
Oh my god.
It has, like, that
Yeah.
vibe and tone to it.
So they basically droop and start to file out, and they don't look like they're mad about it. They just look sad that they didn't get here sooner. And at that point, you see Jilliana, who is currently being mobbed and touched and pushed up against by the remaining people, who are also, I'd say they're about 10 strong now. People have been piling into this room. So you can kind of see Jill, and what you see is what she is about to tell me she does now.
Ooh, gosh. She's backing up. If she hits a wall, she's going to start raising her voice and listen. I just need a minute, okay? There might be something I can do. I just need a minute. And I think she is going to. I want to do a wisdom check to see if Jill has the presence of mind to cast like a cantrip.
I'd be honest, I'd say that's more of a religion check.
I mean, whatever. I want to do, like, I want to roll a die to see if she's able to remember that she can cast, like, a cantrip.
God, I think it's so stupid that religion is an intelligence skill. Give me a wisdom religion check.
I mean, I can just do, like, a wisdom save. This seems like a save situation.
Oh, fool that I am, I'm looking at the wrong character sheet. Yeah, Jill, just give me a wisdom check, it's fine.
Check or a save?
Check.
Okay. That's a 12. What do you think?
I was going to put it at about a 10
Okay.
difficulty for that. So, because 10 is moderately difficult. That's a coin flip on a bad day. So, yeah, I'd say that's a success.
Okay, and I honestly don't know if this is going to make it better or worse. She is going to cast thaumaturgy. She's going to use the effect of your voice booms up to 3 times as loud as normal for 1 minute.
All right.
And she's just going to be like, I just need a minute, okay? Just give me a second. Give me something. Back up.
Win, you watch as Jill is backed up against this wall, panics, and then cries out. Her voice booms in this tiny room. All the people who are looking at her, and even you, Win, to an extent, are staggered by the sudden resonance of this deep, like this booming voice now that rumbles through the room. Everyone has to clutch their ears. Honestly, I think even Jill, you might have to briefly clutch your own ears in shock at how loud that is. But the crowd does stagger back and look at you. And I would like both of you to make an insight check, please.
I got a 6. I don't notice shit. I'm too upset right now.
I got a 27.
All right. Win. They're scared of Jill right now. She
Good.
has frightened them.
Good! Get the fuck away from her!
The second, much harder threshold goes to Jill. They respect you.
What?
You have acted in a way that they, as a culture, respect. As in throwing your weight around with some fear to back it up. And the Vidoni are a little frightened of you, but not in the fear that you're going to hurt them, but in the sense that, oh, you are actually showing some of this power which you supposedly have, this presence of a princess.
This is awe, isn't it?
Basically, yeah.
Is there only one door in here?
Yes. There is a door at one side of the room and a small window at the other.
After she speaks, I think she claps her hands over her mouth and then takes them down, stares at them for a very long moment, and then tries to whisper to modulate to like a loud enough to be heard. Or maybe she's just murmuring or something, speaking softly that then booms out a bit more.
Sure.
Please step out of the room.
Jemjammer is performed by Annie Creighton, Anna Emmeline, Rio Rios, and Mackenzie Weaver, and is edited by Jake Mason. Our cover art is by Canary Witch, who can be found at canarywitch.carrd.co, and our character design is by Rio Rios, who can be found at rios.com. Our opening and closing music is by Saad Akhtar Ali. For bonus content, such as Jilliana's private diary, behind-the-scenes homebrew stuff, and other features from our other shows, I Will Fight You and Date Me Dammit, our Patreon has it all from only $1 a month at patreon.com/thejemjam. Thank you so very much for listening. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.
Yes, hello, sir. I know.
Gideon? Or Harrow?
Oh, the very screamsome one? Of course it's Harrow.